Green Arrow, issue 6, legacy number 339. Joshua Williamson writing with Sean Isaacs, Phil Hester, and Trevor Hairsign on the art. 3 artists. I can't wait to see how you feel about that.
Yeah. No, so it's not a mess. It's done on purpose.
Okay.
Right? So Hester does all of the Ollie versus Ollie stuff. And then Isaacs does the current day stuff. And then the third artist, who I didn't catch the name of, does a lot of the in-between. So in this, it's revealed because Ollie, when he ended up fighting all the other arrows, right? It's essentially he went into his inner self, and they're all versions of himself fighting to break free. And so he ends up grabbing an arrow, but he's too late. He ends up getting shot with one, and it brings him back out. And the old version, like old man Ollie, that's talking to him, is being like, oh, see, this is your problem, is you're constantly at war with yourself and you never come out on the right side. This is why you're a destructive element to your family and why you can't be around anymore. And Ollie starts to put together who this is, because it's not him, right? Like, it's not ringing true. So, old Ollie punches our version of Ollie, and he goes, you're the most stubborn person I've ever known since the day we met. And it turns out that it's Merlin, because it's always Merlin, right? Like, death, taxes, and there's going to be a Green Arrow story that features Merlin.
Ta-da.
So they're swirling so we're going around, and Merlin has like this, almost like the dark energy that we saw from Dark Crisis. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it is, because it is Williamson. Making up most of his body, and Ollie's confused because he's like, you died. Like, you were part of the whole Leviathan thing. Which, remember that? When that was a thing that DC was doing?
I do, yes.
Yeah. And Merlin's like, well, you didn't see a body, and he holds up his hand, and it's all mechanized. He goes, I made some repairs. So as they're fighting, there's another boom, and on the swirling rock with this time storm going around, Connor Hawk shows up to save his dad. And Ollie makes the realization that, him listening to this fake future version of himself played right into it, because these are his doubts that he's still not good enough. It's Oliver Queen 101, and that it is his family that makes him stand out. And that he has to rely on other people, because it's not just him. It's him and Roy, and him and Connor, and him and Dinah, and him and Emmy. So Merlin's like, well, you guys aren't getting out this easy. Fires an arrow. Connor jumps in front of it, and right as it's about to hit, Leon jumps in like Connor does and pulls the arrow out of the space. And they go through the portal that Connor and Leon came through. And when Ollie wakes up, he's on a beach with the waves crashing on him, and it's his island. So at the end of the last issue, Dinah and Roy were heading there. Dinah meets him there, and they have memories of Ollie fighting Doomsday at the end of Dark Crisis. And they embrace and they kiss, and they're rolling around. It looks like From Here to Eternity. And Connor and Leanne are watching. They're like, hey, we know you guys need time, but, what are we doing? So Leanne wonders, like, where's her dad? And this is where the main problem with the art comes is, in other places, right? She like in right now in Detective, she's drawn like a young woman, like you would say, like late teens, maybe early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever did the art here is making her look very kid-like. Like next to Connor, she looks like what we saw last week in that backup in Wonder Woman, how they drew Damien, how he looks still too much like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she looks here. But as they're on the way out, Leanne is like, where's my dad? And him and I think it was Cheshire go to the secret bunker that he knows about, and as they're looking around, there's all these monitors, and they have like different things that are going on in DC. Like you can see Wonder Woman here. It's got Jason Todd. Looks like Batman and the Super Family. Trying to make two of other things. Batman and Robin are fighting, and Dr. Hate's there, which is, I realize now looking at it that this is the panel from Beastworld. So that's pretty interesting. As Roy is looking at this, he goes, "What the hell is she doing with my friends?" Because this is Waller's bunker, and there's gunshots. Cheshire takes a bullet, pushing Roy out of the way. He gets shot anyways, and Waller's standing there with the two peacemakers. And it's she says, "I didn't want to be found, and now no one will ever find you. To be continued in the hunt for Arsenal." So here I was thinking that I was done with Green Arrow, and they go and they pull this because my brain won't allow me not to know what happens. So
you sucker.
well, and the fact that there is a moderate tie to Beastworld, right? Because we see that on there, and Roy is a Titan at the end of the day. He might be the most annoying Titan. He's a Titan nonetheless. But yeah, it was a lot of 6 issues just to pull Ollie all over the place. For it to be Merlin was a bit of a wet blanket of a reveal. Because it still didn't make any sense that he would ever doubt himself and the family. That is just one thing from the beginning that never felt right. But yeah, this is a comic that I read, and the art's not terrible, but there's some little things here and there. And yeah, Ollie's back now, so we can have, Green Arrow back doing things. So I'll give this a 6 out of 10. Like it is what it is.